Hey everyone, it is time for a short little vlog while camping in the Everglades again. So, we just kayaked exactly 3 hours non-stop, only a 5-minute break to go pee on an island. So, got this kayak here from Pro Bass Shop last week after I tried to rent one and they canceled my reservation for it for whatever reason, so just decided to buy one. I've been needing a kayak. There's a lot of trips I've been wanting to do with one, so we'll do a lot of island camping and remote camping in Maine with it next year. So came with these things, which were nice. I got on sale $150 off for Black Friday. I don't know if that price was fake or not, but it has this nice waterproof area where I can keep my phone and wallet. I brought 18 bottles of water. The seat's removable in case it gets worn out. It just comes up on a track. This is the strap I use for tying it to the roof of the car, but I didn't have any good rope, so that's what I'm using to tie it to the dock. It's light, so I just drag it up here. Now this kayak, the one thing I don't like about it is when it's empty, it doesn't ride right. With no weight in the front, with just me sitting in there, the bow runs low. But when there's a lot of weight, lots of water, it rides pretty good. I'm used to a kayak that my grandpa owns where it has a very tall bow. In very little waves today, it was going over the front, and in the wind, when it bounces over the front, usually it would just go back in the water. That's what this lip is for. But the wind would catch it and it would go all over me. Never had that problem before, but yeah, fully loaded, it works great. But if there's nothing in the back whatsoever and you're out in it, it rides too low in the front. Don't know why. Came with the paddle. And this stuff here is delicious. I have bought roast beef from Walmart, their brand. It doesn't taste great. It's just kind of bland, but this is amazing. This is amazing, and it was pretty cheap. Also had this. So, we're attempting to make shepherd's pie right now. How do you think this is going to turn out? The potatoes were kind of hard, so I'm trying to cook them in here with the corn for another half hour. See how it turns out. Got this nice propane burner. Third time using this tent and that pad. It works really good. Got some strawberries. I love bringing fruit camping. Helps clean your teeth. It's like a pre-brushing. I did bring a toothbrush too. Yeah, it's right in there. Brought that flare gun in case of an emergency. And got a little thermometer in there. Got tons and tons of water. This beef jerky is delicious. That was also on sale at Pro Bass. Got some Vienna sausage in there. 2 hoodies because tonight in the Everglades, forecast is amazing. It's going to get down to 40 degrees. That is like the coldest you can possibly get in Florida. Well, southern Florida. Northern Florida very rarely can get a deep freeze or a snow. But down here is tropical. They don't get deep freezes. But this is just about as cold as you're going to get in the Everglades. And when it's cold like this, no one's here. Whole park is like abandoned. Very little traffic. But as a northerner, I love this. This is like a perfect day. Everyone here will tell you it's cold. They'll say something about you going out here to camp saying, oh, be careful, it's going to be really cold out there tonight. I don't think 40 degrees is cold. I think I've camped in negative 20 something, maybe negative 30. I forget what my coldest camp was. But this place is pretty cool, so I'm going to show you how this is set up. Where I'm camping has a ladder, but this has a little bit of stairs. You could just put a canoe. So this place is canoe or kayak access only. Really cool. It's got the toilets here, handicap one, and it has a regular one right here. So basically, it's even handicap accessible. So you see, someone could get up that pretty easily. The stairs there, it's even handicap accessible. So right now we're in Pearl Bay, and there's another one an hour away called Hell's Bay. I didn't bother going there. We got through the most difficult, challenging part. I could have easily made it there because this was only 3 hours, but I just decided to stop here. Maybe someday in the future. I'm already planning another trip out here sometime. Maybe I'll bring a bunch of gear, go to Hell's Bay, stay there overnight, and then continue another whole bunch of time. There's chickees like this in the Everglades that are so remote that you need multiple days to even get to it. That might be getting ready. As soon as we're done with this short vlog, that's probably going to be ready. Let's turn it down slightly. Yeah, just turn it down a little bit. Okay, so the ones that are really, really remote, the ones that would take like a 12-hour paddle, probably over 2 days, only have one pavilion with one porta potty. This is for 2 parties of people. So online, up to 12 people can stay here, 6 on each side. Now here's the thing about that, okay? Here's the one thing that I find very weird. So I rented this one side for $23. And there's still 11 spots available at this location on the government's website where you rent this. Now, any additional person is $2. That's awesome because I know a lot of places they'll charge you the same amount per extra person, such as the Maine Northwoods. They will charge you the same amount per person, which is ridiculous because you're using the same campsite, you're using the same road. Yeah, they'll even charge you for 2 people for road use. Yeah, a second person sitting in your passenger seat is doing a whole lot more damage to the road. Whatever, but here, they seem to have very interesting rules. You're already here. What difference does it make if you bring a couple people with you? So, the way I see it, if you came out here with a couple of people, just spend the extra $22. Buy out the whole place so no one else can come here. You know what I mean? Because if you're here with your family, you're not going to want some random stranger group coming here with you. You know what I mean? Especially if you had children with you. That's going to be kind of strange. Strangers there sleeping with you in the middle of the night. But anyways, the way I feel like the government's website should work, but it appears to not. So, 2 parties of 6. Let's say I went on their website and I bought 7 spots. That overflows that one and puts 1 person here. Shouldn't that buy out the whole place? It appears not, because I went in there and I did that, but I did not check out. I didn't pay it. And here's the thing. It appears if I would have paid that, there would still be 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, there'd still be 5 spaces available, which is weird, the way their computer system works. Now, it also appears if I had a separate account and I also had a single person on this side, it would probably still leave 10 spots available, which is really, really weird. I don't even know. Well, you could squeeze 10 of those little tents on here, but it's not very comfortable. I'm just saying the way the government's website doesn't seem to work exactly right. I'm not 100% sure if I actually checked out if it would change anything or not. It might. So that's why I'm saying I'm not 100% sure. But the way it should work is if you bought 7 spots here for $2 each, that's an extra $14. The whole place should be able to be reserved for your party of people. And even if you had to buy all 12 spots, that's not that bad. This place for camping is already very cheap as it is. So I wouldn't see a problem in that either, which you definitely can do. Looking at their website, you could easily buy out all 12 people's spots at this place. But the ones that are very remote only have 1 pavilion, so I don't know how that would work. The way it's working for me, it's still showing 11 spots. So one of those really rural ones that's only built for half as many people, you might have to buy all those spots if you wanted to make sure no one else would show up to it. And that is if people even get a permit, if the park rangers even check. Now, the park rangers at night, they see a vehicle there. Now, this place doesn't get used that much, the parking area for Hell's Bay. Even during tourist season, you'll only see maybe a dozen cars there. So at night, they're supposed to check those license plates, especially of vehicles that are there more than a day. They look up the license plate, and it should come up in their computer system how long and where you're supposed to be staying. And that's how they would get people that are just out there without a permit. But there's one other vehicle there, and that guy must be really, really far out at one of the campsites, because this place doesn't have any more reservations the foreseeable future. The one down there, that was a little before this, which is a ground camp. You're actually on an island. You're not on a platform. You're on the dirt like a regular camp. It's called Lard Can. No one's there tonight, but tomorrow night it's reserved for 1 night. Somebody's going to be staying there. Ooh, look at the turkey vultures. There's vultures all over the Everglades. They probably want my food. The sun's about to go down too. But yeah, the one in Hell's Bay and the other one that's beyond that. I checked all those. No other reservations tonight. So whoever that is, they're going way, way out there. I don't know if that car, how many days it's been there. Definitely wasn't there 2 days ago, but it could have been there last night. So yeah, somebody, oh yeah, it definitely was out there last night, but I mean, it could have been there 2 nights. Somebody went way, way out there. That's what I want to do next year. And it would be also really fun to bring a second person and maybe even a fishing pole. Just a good amount of fish in here. I haven't seen any that are super, super huge, but there's schools of fish and they're maybe a foot long. There's also thousands of teeny, teeny little fish around. Like when I was done eating that beef right there, I threw the teeny little pieces of it out there that were left in the bottom of it, and the little fish ate it a little bit, but they didn't swarm over like they do in a local park, because these fish aren't used to humans feeding them. They don't know what I'm throwing in the water. It doesn't attract them like tame animals. Also, amazingly, this is all fresh water here. I didn't see any alligators the whole 3-hour ride, because we had to go through swamps for 2 hours that was so tight. I had to take the oar of the kayak apart and use it as 2 separate paddles because there wasn't enough width for the Hells Bay Trail. They call it that because it's hell to get in here and it's hell to get out. If the markers weren't along the trail, you'd get lost. There's so many forks, intersections, islands. It's crazy. It was exciting. That's why I wanted to do this trail. It's a one-of-a-kind experience. And yeah, you can see the water line. We're about a foot below capacity of where this is. Dry season just recently started a few weeks ago for Florida, so they're probably not going to get precipitation really at all winter. And I wonder how low this will even go down, because there was a few areas the water was only a foot or two deep going through those canals. But the bottom of the mud in the swamps is stable if you got out. I wouldn't want to get out because of the possible alligator, but this is fresh water. And I don't understand. I did lick it. It's definitely fresh water. Maybe slightly brackish, but according to the internet, barnacles can't live in just a little bit brackish. But there's barnacles on all the poles as if it's salt water. And it says there's no such thing as freshwater barnacles. I don't know about that. These barnacles, I don't know if they're alive or what, but it does look a teeny salty, right? Maybe. This might be very slightly brackish, but it's definitely not like the ocean. I grabbed some of that and put it on my tongue, and I just could not detect it. I just honestly could not detect any salt. Maybe it's slightly brackish, I don't know. I touched that today while kayaking and stuff, and I've been kayaking in the ocean. You go and you touch your eye, it burns the salt a little bit. I didn't feel any of that. But the Everglades is basically a slow-moving river. This is slowly moving, because if we go an hour to Hells Bay, now that's salt water. But there's a lot of land separating it and only a couple channels in. And those channels must be moving a little bit as this fresh water pushes. That's what keeps it separate. Maybe this is slightly brackish. I don't know, but I wanted to make a little vlog here because this place is awesome. This place is spectacular for only 23 bucks. I would highly recommend anyone who likes kayaking and camping to come to this place. The only thing is, they should have put this like back there, made a little bit bigger of a boardwalk, because where I'm camping, I should have camped on this side because the wind is blowing through the porta potty, and yeah, I can smell the porta potty a little bit. I left the toilet open, and I guess the wind coming into the vents pushed into the toilet and up the stack, made it worse. So I went in there, closed the toilet, it got a little bit better. Speaking of that, is this toilet? Yeah, it's shut, right? Yeah. All the reviews for this place were saying that there's no toilet paper, bring your own. But those reviews, I guess, are from 2020 during the toilet paper shortage and people were stealing it. But we have 4 full rolls, those big rolls like they have in the stores. Those massive rolls, commercial rolls. Yeah, that's what they got in there. This place is really cool. Even got this little setup right here for fishing. Something got burned right there. I don't know what it is, but it got a good spot to have fishing rods here. Nice. I'm just waiting to see an alligator. We probably got 1 more hour of sunlight. This time of year in Florida is about 10 hours. Florida doesn't fluctuate much. Their longest day of the year is 14 hours. Now there's 10 hours of daylight. It doesn't fluctuate much. But up north it fluctuates a lot more. It's very dark this time of year up north, so it's a big shock when you drive down here. I'm down here for maybe another week. I'm going to start heading back. Just came down here to check on my grandpa who was in the hospital, and he was in very bad condition. Now he's in pretty good condition, so went away camping a couple days, and I visit him like every other day, just so I can be in the area a little bit longer. Plus, this is fun. But I'm still going to check on my grandpa a little bit more, but he's just about back to normal, which is great. Okay, just about done with that. Now, the flare gun, if you fire that in the middle of nowhere, no one's going to see it. Someone's already got to be looking for you. That's for, like, if you call for help. There's a good signal here, too. Not in the woods getting here, but once you're here, there's 3 bars of service. You can do whatever you want. But it is illegal to use a flare gun if there's no emergency. People can tell the difference between that and a firework. So that, if someone sees it, they should know to call emergency. Now, that is more for if you hear a boat motor, or if you hear a helicopter coming to find you. That's so they can easily locate you, or I guess just in case of an absolute emergency. But yeah, you can get in trouble if you're caught firing that off for no reason. Also, if there was a dangerous animal that can supposedly save you, the only thing is they're not very accurate. They're powerful, they will stop an animal, but they're not accurate unless you're very close. Which, why would you be defending yourself against a faraway animal? Because, like, if there's a bear there and it starts running towards me, I'm not going to shoot it far away. I'm going to wait until it's right up on me, because it could be false charging. You don't want to just kill an innocent bear. Animals will false charge you to get out of there. But they oftentimes turn around right before they get to you. But just want to make a little vlog showing this nice place, talk about it a little bit, and yeah. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great night.